You're just in time for the most unbelievable show on television.
Ray Bowman is here at the Speedway in Perth, Australia, to break the world's record for a long-distance car jump. An attempt so dangerous, it could literally cost him his life.
A lot of people will ask me what it feels like to fly off a ramp and the impact. It really takes the enjoyment out of flying, I can tell.
Without as much as a helmet for protection, Ray is ready to go. This is it. The racing crowd watches as Ray rockets down the runway. He hits the ramp, but he's coming in short. Ray Bowman has just smashed into the ground, flipping his car. This could be extremely serious. The rescue team is now rushing to free the daredevil. He looks pretty shaken, but he's okay. Ray emerges from his battered vehicle with his life, but without the record. You just witnessed Daredevil Ray Bowman survive a wreck that should have killed him.
My first impression was, oh my God, he's dead.
Now, instead of learning his lesson and calling it quits, Ray says he's ready to risk it all again for the record. Would you believe? These guys were out to hit the town. Instead, they hit a truck and got impaled on a 15-foot pipe. Can they survive being pulled apart? In just moments, muscle man Manjeet Singh will risk tearing off an ear because he's using it to try and pull an 11-ton bus.
I'm the strongest man in the world.
Plus, find out what turned these people's feet into claws. And she's graced more covers than any supermodel in history. So why doesn't anyone recognize her? Unbelievable? Believe it. On Ripley's Believe It or Not.
Welcome to Ripley's, where you expect to see the truly unbelievable. And tonight, you will not be disappointed. Now, if it was a cold night and you wanted to light a few logs in the fireplace, but you couldn't because there was something blocking the chimney, you'd need to hire a chimney sweep. Well, nobody believed what clogged this particular chimney until the gruesome body of evidence was pulled out.
When authorities in this small river town received a report of an intruder trapped in the chimney of a downtown business, they had to investigate. And details of the shocking discovery they made are still a mystery to this day.
I actually kneeled down and looked up into the fireplace, and there was a boot.
Natchez, Mississippi. For years, master bricklayers Duncan Morgan and Carlman Lang have worked restoring and maintaining the classic buildings of this river town. But it was while clearing the airway to one old structure in particular that strange things began to happen.
As we pried the plate open, a human bone fell out.
Bone by bone, they slowly realized the chimney had been turned into a tomb. And no one had known it.
The sock fell with the toe bones in it, and then 2 more bones fell. Just was something that you never expect to find in a chimney. It's just shocking.
Something had to be done. The 2 men immediately called the coroner's office. James Lee was the first to arrive on scene.
As I walked in the door, lying in the floor were 3 long bones. When I looked down, I said, oh my God, these are human bones.
In this rarely seen police video, you can see law enforcement officials pulling out body parts with the tattered clothes still attached. They immediately began an investigation searching for the identity of the mysterious corpse. But was there more than one body hidden in the house? Was foul play involved? Since it appeared that more remains were still lodged up in the vent, a large hole was made, and slowly, bone by bone, the remains were extracted.
So we began to pull the pants, and along with the pants came bones, portion of bone, thigh bone, the pelvis, bone, rib bones, long bones of the arm, and finally, the skull fell down from out of the chimney.
After a thorough search, police conclude there is only one body, a male. Inside a pants pocket, cops find a driver's license. It identifies the body as a local man reported missing 15 years ago. Authorities suspect he was attempting a break-in when the burglary went dead wrong. But what's most unbelievable of all is how the gruesome incident, somehow even the stench of the decomposing body, went unnoticed.
A chimney is usually vented upward, which means in being up that high, the smell actually went up and probably across the river.
Adding to that is the fact that when exposed to air, a human body decays 8 times faster than one that's been buried. Also, not being in use at the time, there was nobody on the second floor to hear the trapped man's screams. Police believe the noise from the street also helped muffle his cries for help. Despite their brush with death, so to speak, Duncan and Carlman are still working to renovate the old buildings of Natchez. Their only hope, that they don't run into any more scary surprises.
I hope to work on plenty more chimneys, but never to find a dead body. Never again. That's just an experience I don't want to have anymore.
Now you see this steel pipe? It's about 2 inches in diameter. Now just imagine it being thrust right through your chest with such force that it rips a piece of your shirt through your body and into the body of your best friend, who just happens to be sitting right behind you. Well, it sounds unbelievable, but we've got the pictures to prove it. And be advised that some of these images are very graphic.
When these 2 close friends get together, they get around on their motorbike, darting in and out of traffic. Safety was never a big issue. But little did they know that they were about to make the wrong turn down the wrong street. In one split second, metal and human flesh collided, leaving the 2 men skewered alive. In his rural village of Bang Na, Thailand, this construction worker relies on a motorcycle as his only means of transportation. After working hard all week, a typical Friday night for this young man would entail picking up his best friend and together hitting the town. But on this particular Friday night, nothing would go as planned. Just after leaving a friend's house, they made a terrible decision to pass a slow-moving truck. There was no time to react. In an instant, an iron pole hanging off the side of a parked truck penetrates the first man's chest. Then, unbelievably, it continues straight through, impaling his friend sitting behind him. The driver passes out immediately. The passenger remains conscious. The 2 wait an agonizing hour for help, not knowing if they'll live or bleed to death right there on the road. When paramedics finally arrive, they're forced to make a critical decision. They would first have to saw off the ends of the pole in order to transport the men, hoping that wouldn't do even more damage. Since the 2 were still attached, just getting the 2 young men into the ambulance is a struggle. This actual footage, shot by a local news crew, shows the life or death drama as it unfolds. Every second at this point is crucial. Had they lost too much blood? were the injuries too traumatic to survive.
In moments, watch as emergency room doctors scramble to save the boys' lives. Can they be pulled apart without bleeding to death? Plus, Claire Graham doesn't recycle his trash. Instead, he turns it into mind-blowing works of art. And skydiver Dave Morris will risk his life attempting to change parachutes in midair. It's all just moments away on Ripley's. Amazing stories and unbelievable people. Ripley's Believe It or Not.
Two guys on a motorbike are impaled right through the chest with a piece of pipe, like this. The fact that they didn't die on the spot is amazing, and what doctors did while attempting to save their lives is truly unbelievable. And be advised that some of these images you're about to see are graphic.
A terrible motorcycle accident has left a young man and his best friend literally impaled by a single iron pole. The situation is critical. Having lost massive amounts of blood, the men must be stabilized now if they're going to survive. The doctor's first step, the dangerous procedure of removing the pole. Moving cautiously, they have to be careful the iron rod won't damage the surrounding organs and arteries as it's slowly pulled out. Carefully but quickly, the iron rod is removed from the friend with one swift stroke. To remove the rod from the driver would be more complicated. He would have to undergo delicate surgery. But could the young man hang on through the dangerous procedure? And if he did survive, would there be permanent damage? Centimeter by centimeter, the pole is eased out, and amazingly, the touch-and-go procedure is a success. The surgery reveals that the metal rod had miraculously missed hitting the vital organs. And while the wounds and bruises will take time to completely heal, after only 3 weeks of intensive therapy, both men are released from the hospital. Today, the two are back riding motorcycles. Getting a second chance at life, the two friends are thankful that despite being skewered alive, they escaped the horrifying ordeal with nothing more than a few scars.
Bottle caps, swizzle sticks, and pop tops. When we see these things lying on the side of the road, the first word that comes to most of our minds is garbage. But renowned recycler Claire Graham turns discarded trash into functional art.
As the saying goes, one man's trash is another man's treasure. And nothing could be more true for this guru of recyclable goods. Believe it or not, artist Claire Graham takes run-of-the-mill odds and ends and turns them into incredible art.
I love the word trash because it implies to me that there's not much value that other people see in it.
By profession, Claire is a creative director who designs giant sets for big shows like the Super Bowl halftime. But when he's not working, Claire can be found scouring local flea markets near his Los Angeles home in search of raw materials he can resurrect as one-of-a-kind creations.
Cool. How much are your Scrabble games?
Well, they're 5 years.
How about tape by numbers?
I'd go 15 on all four.
Cool. Yeah, I'll take them.
Once Claire gets his latest finds back to the studio, he gets to work. From used swizzle sticks to discarded flip tops, Claire begins the process of recycling unwanted items into amazing art.
Here's what happens to approximately 250,000 bottle caps.
Unbelievably, collectors have been known to pay upwards of $5,000 for Claire's creations, like this tower made from hundreds of yardsticks. He's even found a new use for the ordinary aluminum can.
Take the can, cut them apart, end up with flat printed aluminum sheets, cut them, wrap them around a 2-inch square tile, and then I can use them like tile in a bathroom.
Nearly 3,000 Scrabble pieces with their individual letters create this Tower of Babel. And with the artist's touch, even dominoes are transformed into towering skyscrapers.
I really like the fact that it sort of looks like lights on in a cityscape at night.
And it took Claire just 3 weeks to turn the paint-by-number set he picked up at the rummage sale into an impressive mosaic masterpiece. Not bad for what was once just discarded debris.
I like the fact that instead of consigning something to the dump, it has a second life.
This chair is covered with over 2,500 aluminum cans. This floor lamp, over 80,000 soda tabs. We'll be right back.
Worth Dalton is completely blind, but that didn't stop him from making a golf shot that even stunned Tiger Woods.
I almost had a heart attack.
Plus, the 7-month-old infant with superhuman strength. Why this goldfish needs a life jacket to stay afloat. And she's a stunning beauty admired by millions of readers. So why don't her own fans ever recognize her? That and more still ahead when Ripley's returns. Ripley's world of unbelievable animals.
Life for most aquarium fish consists of swimming and eating. But George the goldfish is definitely not most fish. Believe it or not, George can't swim. George's story begins when Gina, his owner, was feeding all of her fish. She noticed George was lying on his side on the bottom of the tank.
He just really keeled over, couldn't swim around and whatever, and I was at my wit's end what to do with him. Come on.
Many people would be tempted to deal with the problem of a non-swimming goldfish by simply flushing it away. But Gina was determined to help, and she set out to create the very first fish flotation device. Made of fleece and styrofoam, it keeps George floating safe and sound.
People probably think I'm raving bad as usual, but no, I think it's worth it. He's such a character.
George's veterinarian says the fish had a sort of flu, but should recover his ability to swim soon enough. And in the meantime, while the apparatus keeps George alive by keeping him afloat, he still needs to be careful around Gina's other pets.
When strange two-toed footprints were found in Africa, experts from around the world scoured the jungle in search of the creatures who made them. Would they find a living dinosaur or a real Bigfoot? Well, here at Ripley's, we've got tape of the walking wonders, and you won't believe it.
For centuries, members of one small African tribe have displayed the same remarkable birth defect. A strange physical characteristic even experts find shocking.
They're better known as the ostrich people because of their 2 toes in each feet.
Anthropologist Kevin Duffy has been studying Africa's languages and customs for the past 20 years. He believes this unusual tribe, living in the Zambezi Valley, is the only group of 2-toed men and women in the world.
The ostrich people have difficulty running or walking because of the peculiar shape of their feet.
Unable to wear shoes, the ostrich people proudly show their feet wearing sandals that must be specifically made for each person's unique foot. The birth defect, which is found in about 1 in 4 babies, is due to an age-old custom, forbidding marriage outside the tribe.
Inbreeding is still prevalent among the ostrich people because they are so isolated. they will continue to be born like this for many generations to come.
Believe it or not.
Now, the most celebrated shot in the game of golf is the hole-in-one. Even pros debate whether it's the result of blind luck or skill. If you ask Worth Dalton, he'll tell you it was both.
It's a game of patience, a sport of frustration. But Worth Dalton doesn't see the challenges in golf. In fact, he doesn't see a thing. Because believe it or not, this guy is totally blind. Worth grew up with a love for basketball and football, but at the age of 20, he had developed a hereditary eye disease. By the time he reached 34, he was legally blind.
Kind of figured that sports, at least on a competitive level, were a thing of the past for me. Hello?
But a friend quickly urged Worth to get out of the house and, of all things, onto the green.
There you go.
I never played the game before I lost my sight, so I kind of had an uphill battle to even try to understand or visualize what a golf swing even was.
Worth decided to take a swing at it anyway. But could a blind person actually golf? How would he know where to aim?
So now we still got the same distance.
With the help of his new coach, Worth discovered that a golf swing is more about feeling than seeing.
Most sighted golfers are too concerned with outcome, and so they cannot feel what's going on in the swing, whereas Worth is just the opposite.
So just how hard is it to golf without eyes?
There you go.
Ripley's took some sighted golfers.
Terrence, it's nice to meet you.
Took out some blindfolds.
We just kind of want to give you a little bit of feel of what he goes through.
And ask them to take a shot.
That pretty good?
As our volunteers quickly found out, golfing blind can be very tricky.
Where's the ball at?
Despite the difficulty, Worth has the kind of precision most sighted golfers dream of. Even so, no one ever imagined what was going to happen at this tournament in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. It was a par 3 on the 7th hole when something unbelievable happened.
There you go. You're right at the stick. Hunt.
Whoa!
Yeah! He made it.
Let's see that again. With a crack of a 7-iron, Worth's ball sails 125 yards through the air, hits the ground, bounces, and goes straight into the hole.
He made it! And I almost had a heart attack. I couldn't believe it. That is every golfer's dream.
That amazing ace on the course brought worldwide attention and letters of praise from golfing greats like Tiger Woods.
I don't think it's really sunk in yet. My feelings when it comes to that hole-in-one. And it'll always be the thrill of my life on a golf course.
You got that on camera. There you go. Good hit, Worth.
Coincidentally, Worth made that hole-in-one on the 7th hole with a 7-iron in his 7th tournament. I think the term lucky 7 seems appropriate here.
Next, Dave Morris will fall to his death unless everything goes just right. His attempt to change chutes at 5,000 feet is just ahead. Plus, what will happen when this strongman tries to pull a bus by his ear? And obsessed daredevil Ray Bowman returns to attempt a car-jumping record that threatens to drive him straight to his grave. Next on Ripley's. Meet Manjeet Singh, an imposing mountain of human flesh.
I'm the strongest man in the world.
Today, he's attempting a feat of strength that's truly unbelievable because Manjeet is trying to pull this 11-ton bus by himself using a rope attached to, believe it or not, his ear.
More.
Yeah, you heard it right, with his ear. Manjeet began testing his limits as a young man in India by competing in rock lifting contests. After moving to England, Manjeet set his sights on breaking as many strongman records as possible. Today, he claims to hold over 20 world records. And at age 51, he shows no signs of slowing down.
If you think you're old, that's it. You had enough. You won't do anything.
Manjeet claims his amazing power comes from within, and he spends 30 minutes a day in deep meditation, tapping into his inner power.
It is a gift, actually. It's God's gift.
Feeling confident, Manjeet is in high spirits, but he's also intensely focused. He needs to be. The hardest part of this attempt will come at the start, when he must get the massive bus moving from a dead standstill. Manjeet begins by tying one end of the rope to the bus's bumper.
How's that feeling?
The other end is fastened to his ear using a metal C-clamp. His crew wedges a piece of cloth inside to ensure a tight grip.
Right inside.
And without wasting any time, Manjeet goes for it. Immediately, the pulling on the ear becomes almost unbearable. But before the bus even moves a millimeter, the clamp slips off. Slightly dazed, Manjeet quickly has the clamp reattached to his increasingly sensitive ear.
Okay, tighter there.
He begins again, and with a Herculean effort, Manjeet begins to edge the bus forward. But incredibly, before he gains any momentum, the clamp slips again. These failed attempts are taking their toll, especially on Manjeet's ear. It looks like he only has one more roll left. The clamp is attached once again. Despite the burn in his ear and the pain in his muscles, Manjeet summons his strength and pulls. Incredibly, the bus starts rolling forward inch by inch. Then, foot by agonizing foot, Manjeet keeps it going for an amazing 28 seconds. But then, for the last time today, the clamp pulls away. An impressive feat, especially for an ear. But believe it or not, Manjeet's not satisfied. He wanted to pull that bus farther.
One time you're disappointed, that doesn't mean you're disappointed forever.
And to prove the point, Manjeet suddenly decides to try another body part to pull the bus.
I'm trying to pull 100 meters with my ponytail.
But is it possible to pull an 11-ton bus with your hair without pulling out the roots?
I can feel the pain now.
With his ear still ringing with pain, Manjeet leans low to the ground. Incredibly, the bus is rolling. The intense pressure on his scalp seems almost too much, but surprisingly, Manjeet continues to pick up speed. This time, when the rope finally slips, Manjeet is satisfied.
I think it's your hairstyle that let you down there.
Not only has he pulled a bus 200 feet with his hair, but strongman Manjeet Singh also has a lock on a new personal best.
As if skydiving onto the top of a hot air balloon isn't amazing enough, Ripley's found a guy who wants to swap chutes and then jump again off the balloon.
Champion skydiver Dave Morris is about to attempt to leap into the history books with a jump so dangerous, no one has ever successfully completed the feat unharmed. Believe it or not, he'll dive out of a helicopter nearly 2 miles high and try to land on top of a floating hot air balloon.
Dropping out of the sky to hit a 14 by 4 feet area is similar to trying to hit a postage stamp with a dart from the top of the Empire State Building.
But that's not all. Unbelievably, Dave will then cut away his parachute while still balancing thousands of feet in the air on the floating target. He'll then have just seconds to replace his parachute and go for a second jump. Dave started skydiving 23 years ago, and even though he has 8,000 jumps under his belt, he admits his one Achilles heel is a crippling fear of heights.
Sometimes I'm cool as a cucumber, and sometimes, depending on what I'm doing, the nerves rear their head again.
After 6 months of planning, everything must be perfect. First, Dave inspects the top of the balloon, which will be his landing pad. Satisfied, he takes to the sky. Having reached an altitude of 10,000 feet, it's time to fly. Dave focuses on his target below and takes a daring leap of faith.
I'm quite happy for people to think that I'm a madman. That does my ego good.
But as Dave approaches his target, something goes terribly wrong. Hot air rising from the balloon throws him dangerously off course, and he misses the balloon completely. This jump is a failure, but Dave is not ready to give up. After making some mental adjustments, Dave climbs back into the chopper and heads up a second time. Dave gets set for his second jump, but in order to pull off the spectacular performance, he must come in right on target. As Dave approaches the landing pad, this time he compensates for the updraft. He does it, sticking the landing precisely in the middle of the small airborne landing strip at a breathtaking 5,000 feet. But Dave can't rest for long. He now has just seconds to change chutes and jump again. The winds now are his biggest concern, as he could get tangled up in his parachute and fall to his death.
To roll and end up wrapped in lines and parachute and then fall off the other side, that would be a horrendous situation.
But incredibly, within moments, Dave begins the second stage of his incredible feat.
3, 2, go.
And takes a mile-high jump. Only 3 minutes later, he's done it. Dave is back on solid ground, happy to have broken a new record without having broken any bones.
It was like being the king of the world. Fantastic.
More real people and their extraordinary stories right after this. Ripley's found the perfect gadget for the car lover who has everything. This is a car capsule, the ultimate way to protect the body of your automobile. The manufacturer says that this bubble can withstand the swing of a sledgehammer. Let's see if there's truth in the advertisement. Wow, they were right. Now take a look at this.
Enter Robert Ripley's archives.
Let's go with the show. Robert Ripley, leave it or not. Leave it or not.
The year is 1952, and the acrobatic San Filippo family of Paris incorporates their bouncing baby boy into the act. The family's newest addition is already following in Dad's footsteps, tackling a pair of gymnast rings. Amazingly, though only 7 months old, his upper body strength is advanced to the point where he's already supporting his entire body weight. The family credits a strict vegetarian diet and intense training at an early age for this baby's remarkable agility and strength. Believe it or not.
Ray Bowman had big dreams to jump cars. Well, after attempting to break a record, the poor guy has big medical bills.
At the beginning of tonight's show, you witnessed Ray Bowman cheat death in a failed attempt to break the record for the longest jump made in a car.
I was heartbroken that we'd gone out there and we'd gave it the best shot, and I just couldn't believe that we hadn't got it again.
But that was just one of Ray's spectacular failures. He's been chasing this dangerous dream and landing in the hospital for over 7 years. And now he's putting his life on the line again as he goes for his dream one more time. As a kid, Ray was crazy for cars. At the age of 18, he was already auto racing, and that might have been enough. But at the age of 30, Ray jumped his first car. Soon, he was doing crowd-pleasing stunts like the station wagon launch and the ever-popular speedboat jump. But it wasn't enough, and Ray set his sights on the world's car jump distance record of 230 feet, a mark that stood for 15 years.
I thought, no, I want to throw a car off a ramp. I want to know what it feels like to throw a car. So we wanted to find out who was the best.
His first attempt is in the small country town of Port Burleigh, Australia. Conditions are good, and it's go time.
I was nervous, but funny enough, once we started hitting for that ramp and that, it sort of felt quite natural, actually.
Hitting the approach ramp at 100 miles an hour, Ray takes off. He flies over 42 cars. Then, disastrously, he smashes nose first into the 43rd. Watching the horrible wreck from the sidelines, his fans fear the worst. But Ray isn't dead.
He's alive.
In fact, a trip to the emergency room reveals only a painfully broken leg.
The first hit was certainly a jar, there's no doubt about that. I mean, I felt that one.
And although it's a full 3 years before he could try again, Ray's ready to go for his next attempt. For the jump to be official, he'll need to clear the gap and land all 4 tires at the same time. Ray is ready, and he speeds down the runway, and he crashes. Fortunately, this time Ray walks away with no injuries, except to his pride. After Ray's 3rd try turns out not to be a charm, like Wile E. Coyote, he heads back to the drawing board. 1 year later, and Ray's done his homework. He's ready to go for attempt number 4. With victory waiting just on the other side, Ray shoots down the ramp. There's nothing that can stop him now, except gravity. Unbelievably, Ray has failed for the 4th time.
Probably the hardest day of my life. I felt as I'd let everyone down. I was just pretty devastated.
And now, just a few months later, Ray's back and taking a practice run for an upcoming performance. As a friend videotapes, Ray accelerates. Flying off the ramp, he soars and somehow manages his best jump in 7 years. The landing is good. The camera was rolling. It's an official world record. But Ray's not celebrating yet. In fact, Ray's not even moving. The massive shock of landing has broken his back. Back in the hospital yet again, Ray's satisfied with his record, even if there were no fans to witness it.
I really would have loved to have broken the record in front of the crowd, not just for me, but for them as well.
Today, Ray's fully recovered, engaged to be married, and finally in the record books with a jump of 237 feet. All the years of hard work have finally paid off.
My dad always said to me, be careful of what you want, you might get it. And we certainly got it, but there was a price to pay along the way.
So remember, if at first you don't succeed, try, 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 and try again.
After breaking so many bones, Ray says that he's given up trying to break any more records. It's probably a good idea.
Still ahead, her picture can be found in millions of American homes. So why don't people recognize this breathtaking brunette when they pass her on the street? Ripley's reveals the intriguing answer. Plus, find out how touching this red-hot spoon to a prisoner's tongue could either set them free or spell certain death. When we journey into the Ripley's vault, next. Stories you can't imagine, people you won't believe. Ripley's Believe It or Not.
Her name is Maria DeAngelis. You may not recognize her, but believe it or not, she's appeared on more covers than any supermodel in history.
I love that I am so exposed, yet I can totally keep my private life.
Come on, guys, turn me on. Go to his lips. Go to his lips, yes. Beautiful.
From Frankly My Dear to The Magician's Lover, Maria has graced the covers of more than 3,000 romance novels.
Right, good. I want to see your beautiful eyes. Yes.
Yet, she's rarely recognized. But Maria doesn't mind. She prefers the undercover cover work.
I think it's wonderful that I can just come here and be completely glamorous and walk home, wash my face, wash my hair, and just be myself. And no one knows who I am.
The Ripley's vault houses some of the most chilling and barbaric torture instruments known to man. And this artifact right here may be one of the most sinister. What looks like an ordinary spoon to you or I played the role of judge and jury for a people of a Bedouin tribe living in the Middle Eastern desert. This spoon was used to determine guilt or innocence of the tribe's people, whether the individual is accused of murder or adultery. The bisha, or tongue trial, goes like this. The utensil is heated over a fire until the blackened metal turns red hot. Then the accused must lick the back of the searing spoon 3 times. A tribal council monitors the test to make sure that they drag the tongue, not just flick it. If there are no cuts, burns, or blisters, the sinner is declared innocent. But if there's any mark on the flesh, that is a sign of guilt. And the sentence for many crimes, death. Unbelievable? Believe it.
Only those with the guts.
All right, let's do this.
Win the glory. Fear Factor. Back-to-back episodes. Tonight starting at 7. Only on Chiller. Scary Good.
Scare Tactics. Back-to-back episodes. Tomorrow starting at 7. Only on Chiller. Scary Good.